Hey, what's up everybody, it's Amaya. So today's video is going to be a really cool video because I'm going to be showing you guys my entire Colourpop collection. So yeah, today's video is going to be on every single product that I own from Colourpop. I almost own everything in a category except I do not own any of their brow products and I do not own any of their ultra satin lips. So these are basically everything that I've collected over the past year and a half, I would say. Some of these things are discontinued, some of these things were like Christmas edition things, but for the most part everything you can still buy and still get your hands on, that sort of thing. And the reason why I'm doing this video is to show you guys kind of my opinion on everything like Colourpop related and just kind of tell you what I like from them, what I don't. For the most part, I love everything, but there are a few things I don't like so much. Just kind of tell you how everything works, the best way to use them, and all that sorts of stuff. Also, I was looking through my collection and I found a ton of dupes. If you guys would like to see a dupe video where I show you some duplicates of products that I found within the Colourpop line, like certain things that dupe other products, that sort of thing, please let me know in the comments or like this video. If you like this video, then I know that you want to see a dupe video. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the way that we're going to be doing this is I'm going to start with eyes, then move down to lips, then move down to face. I'm going to start with eyeshadow and eyeliner. Here are all my Colourpop eyeshadows and eyeliners. As you can see, I have quite a few, although I'm ever wanting more because these are fantastic. They're some of the best formula I've ever found. They stay for a long time on the lids, especially when you use some sort of glitter primer or glitter glue or any kind of eyeshadow primer. They stay forever. They blend really nice. They're very pigmented. You have some glittery ones, you have some shimmery ones, you have some matte ones, all of the above, so you kind of get a nice range. They have every color under the sun. They have some really bright pressed pigments and that sort of thing. So I'm going to start with this drawer right here, which has all shadows in it. The next one has shadows and liners, but we'll get to that after. This is the shade Shameless, and this is a metallic Super Shock shadow. They're called Super Shock shadows. For those of you that don't know, they're not just called eyeshadows, they're Super Shock shadows. So this is a really nice sparkly green that has some reflex of blue in it, and it has a metallic finish. And when you say metallic finishes on Colourpop eyeshadows, it means they have glitter in them. So if you ever get a metallic one, know that it's going to have glitter in it. So if you don't want glitter, then go for a different finish. I'll let you know which one it is in a little bit. So next we have the shade Roller Girl, and this is such a cool shade. It is black, but it has every glittery color you could think of. There's pinks, reds, blues, greens, yellows, golds. Every single color, so it's a super cool, unique shadow. You could use this to dress up a smoky eye, that sort of thing. If you want a little bit of glitter, it's a perfect like party shadow, if you know what I mean. Next, I have the shade Frisky, and this is kind of like a navy blue black sort of shadow. It has a bunch of different reflex of other colors in it, like pinks and blues and golds all in here. That's a nice thing that I like. They have nice little micro glitters which reflect the light and look gorgeous. Next I have the shade Cricket, and this is a really pretty purpley color. It's like a purpley taupe. It's a nice cool toned purple, but it definitely has some like reddish gold reflex in it, like as far as glitter goes. As you can see when I kind of turn it, you can kind of see like that silvery metallic cast. This is daytime appropriate and nighttime appropriate, so it's a win-win with this one. Next I have the shade Sequin, and this is one of my favorite shadows of all time. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a nice coppery peach color with some gorgeous gold reflex in it. It's absolutely stunning on the eyes. I used it in my copper spring makeup tutorial or something I called it. This is absolutely amazing, and it's so pigmented. It's gorgeous. It's one of the best shadows that they have, I think. Next I have Millionaire, and this is exactly what it sounds like. It looks like a penny. It looks like money. It's insane. It is like a brownish gold color, like it's a very brown gold, and it has some glitters in it, but these glitters are super fine. They're basically glittery kind of gold pink colors. They're not like super big glitters, like some of them have a little bit more bigger glitters. This one has a very fine glitter, but it's a really nice neutral brown. This is the shade That Girl, and this is like a silvery green color. It looks silver when you first look at it, but then you're kind of like, oh wait a minute, it has green in it. Oh wait, maybe some blue, green, silver, what? It's like one of those confusing colors. It kind of looks like when a penny like does that weird like rusting and it gets like green. That's kind of what it looks like. It's a really, really pretty, unique color. I have never seen a color like this literally anywhere else, and it's stunning, especially for the price. Like, absolutely amazing. Next I have the shade Thirsty Girl, and this is an absolutely stunning gold. It is a nice dark gold. It's not too like brassy. I know sometimes golds can look kind of brassy and yellowy and weird, but this is a really nice dark gold. It has some like green reflex in it, which kind of make it a little bit different than just a typical gold. This is the shade Blaze, and this is from the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop quad. If you don't know, Colourpop sells quads of eyeshadows that different YouTubers or different celebrities can kind of put together, and they sell collections and all that sorts of things. So this is from that collection, and as you can see, it is very, very loved. This is just so stunning. I use this on 2 different people for prom. It's like the perfect gold, but if you put like a lighter gold underneath, oh my god, it's gorgeous. It's stunning. It stays forever too. Oh my god, it's perfect. Next is the shade Fringe, and this is a really awesome color. I did use this in my prom makeup tutorial, my first one that I did, and it's amazing because it's a nice silvery gold. That's so weird to say, but even on the site it's described as like a silver gold. It has like some silver in it and also some gold, and it's just a really nice neutral shadow, but it is more on the cool tone side. So if you're looking for something that's cool tone but not silver, it's a really, really good shadow. Next is the shade 3. This is called 3 because on the Colourpop website they say it has bronze, gold, and silver all in it. So it has all the metallics right in this shade. If you look at it, you can see it's kind of like a purpley bronze color, but it does have some gold and silver reflex in it, which makes it a really interesting shadow. Like, I do not remember the last time I saw a shadow like this. Now let's move on to the ultra metallics. So these ones are like the metallics, except they are packed with pigment. This is the shade LALA, and this is one of the ultra metallics. It has the glitters in it, but it is more on the like shimmer side. It's very, very similar to Sequin, except it has more of a bronze shade, if you know what I mean. And then lastly, we have Liberty, and this is, I don't even know how to describe this shadow. It is so banging, it's not even funny. This is like the brightest shadow. One swipe and you have like pigment for days. It is literally the color of patriotism. Just a true, true liquid silver. Now we're going to move on to the pearlized shadows. The pearlized finishes are really similar to the metallics, except they are more shimmery and they do not have as much glitter. They might have some micro glitters, but for the most part, they're pretty much glitter free and they're just shimmery. The first shade I'm going to talk about is Girly, and this is a really pretty yellow gold. It's very interesting. It can kind of be overpowering, so don't think it's like a white shadow because it's not. It's not like a white or a champagne. It is a very much a yellow gold. Next, it's this shade Partridge. This is one of my favorite shadows. It's actually what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. I just have it on my lid and kind of dusted in my crease, but it is that shadow that has the blue with the reddish reflex. You know what I'm talking about. Manny MUA has one in his palette. Wet n Wild has one in their Comfort Zone palette. MAC made one called Boom Boom Room. Makeup Geek has a shadow like this. Like, every brand has a shadow like this. And of course Colourpop has one too, but this one is so pretty. It's so pigmented and so creamy that I really think this is one of the best formulas. Moving on to drawer number 2. This is the shade Valley Girl. This is so similar to Girly, except I feel like it has a little bit more silver in it. Girly is a little bit more yellow. This has a little bit more silver in it, but it is still absolutely gorgeous and it's a great neutral shadow. This is the shade Kathleen Lights, obviously from the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop quad, and it is just the most perfect bronze orange color. This is screaming summer. It looks so beautiful and so liquid on the eyes. It's stunning. It has some nice gold kind of reflex in it, but for the most part it's a pretty true bronze copper color. This is the shade Fangirl, and this is like a purpley blue. It's a nice cool tone purple, so it's not too purple when you look at it. Like, it's still purple, but it's not like in your face like violet. So this is a nice shade for those of you that like a little bit of pop of color but don't want it to be too obvious. If you wear this, it can almost be perceived as like a dark gray or even a black, so that's a really good thing to keep in mind if you want to kind of try out this shadow. Now we're going to move on to matte shadows, and their matte shadows are exactly what they sound like. They are just matte. So this is the shade Copperfield. It's like a nice peachy sort of all over lid color. I got this kind of thinking it'd be similar to Peach Smoothie, and it is, but it's like a shade lighter than Peach Smoothie. If you're very, very fair, this will be the perfect crease color for you, but if you're my skin tone or darker and it's a nice like all over lid color, or if you need something to kind of help blend stuff out, this is a really nice color. Next is the shade Hanky Panky. I have been eyeing this shadow since I first discovered Colourpop, and that's because it is like the perfect like pinky brown dusty color. Online it looks more like peach, but when you get it in the pan and you actually put it on your eyes, it's more of a pinky kind of dusty brown. Think like Anastasia, Birkin, like that sort of shadow. A nice like dusty color. So it's really great if you want to do something more cool toned. This is the shade Party Girl, and this is very, very pink. It's a really, really pink brown. Party Girl. This is definitely probably very close to Anastasia Birkin if I had to guess from what I've seen in pictures. It's a very pink brown. You can almost look at it and be like, that's like a cream pink. But it is a brown. It is a really nice transition shade if you are fairer. If you're my shade, it can kind of not show up as well, but if you are a little bit lighter, then this is definitely a great crease shade for you. And if you're like me or darker, it's a really nice all over shade if you want sort of a matte brown eye, but you don't want something too dark. This is the shade Glow. As you can see, very, very loved. It's a really beautiful cream color. It looks very cream and yellow peach in the pan, but when you put it on your eyes, it is very white. So keep that in mind, because I've accidentally like put this on wanting more like a dark cream and getting like a white and being like, okay, but it is very brightening. I have it in my inner corners and on my brow bone, but it's a beautiful matte shadow. And then last but not least, we have the shade Cornelius, and this is a perfect transition shade, especially if you're my skin tone or more on like the middle of the skin tone range. It's a gorgeous transition. If you are a little bit darker, this is a really great all over lid shade, and if you're a little bit lighter, this could be a nice outer crease color, but it is a really, really universal shadow, so remember that. So that's it for the eyeshadows. Out of all of the finishes, I have to say that the pearlized are my absolute favorite. I feel like they're the most pigmented, they're the most long wearing, they're just the prettiest on the eyes. But all of the shadows are great, but the pearlized ones are my absolute favorite. Now let's move on to eyeliners. So I have 4 of their cream gel colors, and then 3 of their cream gel liners. So I'll kind of explain what those are when I get to them. We're going to start with the cream gel colors because they're in my drawer. So the cream gel colors, basically what they are is a pot eyeliner, or kind of like a very pigmented cream color. So something like the Anastasia cream colors, that's very much what they're similar to, but they can be used as eyeliners. They're kind of like an all-purpose cream. And the first shade I have is Overboard, and this is like a dark coppery brown, and this is so gorgeous as a cream shadow like all over, or if you want like a shimmery brown liner, this is absolutely perfect. It is on the more warm side though, so if you want more of a cool tone brown, I would not recommend this, but it is so beautiful. This is the shade Exit, and as you can see, it's kind of dirty right now, but it is an all white eyeliner, and again, absolutely stunning. If you want like a nice white base, this is great. If you just want some white eyeliner, it's absolutely great. It's just a nice white eyeliner. This is the shade Call Me, and this is my favorite brown liner of all time. So far out of the ones I've tried, this one has been the best. I love doing like a brown smoky eye, especially like in the fall, just doing like a brown eye and then putting the brown eyeliner on, because it's not as harsh as black, but it's still dark enough that it does show up. It's a nice like chocolate color. It's so delicious. I just want to eat it. And then last but not least is Fast Lane, and this is like a bluish turquoise color. Really cool. It's more on the darker side, so if you want to wear this as eyeliner, you can kind of incorporate the pop of color, but not be so bold, you know what I mean, as opposed to like a bright turquoise or a more like cobalt color, which will be more obvious. This might be a little bit more subtle. Now let's move on to cream gel liners. So these are like their pencil forms, and they all have a match with the cream gel colors. I don't have the matches. I only have one match, and I used to have a white one, but for the life of me, I can't find where it went. But I used to have a white pencil. But the one that I have is the Overboard pencil. I have Overboard in the pot and Overboard in the pencil. But again, this is just the same color, a nice brownish coppery color. I do recommend using this for your waterline instead of the pot because it's a little bit easier to use, but they're really nice and long wearing. This is the shade Swerve, and this is just their black liner. It's a really great black liner. It's not my favorite, but it is definitely a close contender. And this is the shade Workout. This is a really dark green. It's a dark forest green. So you could wear this in your waterline as like you would a black liner without it looking so harsh, and it kind of just adds a nice interest, especially for those of you that have like brownish eyes. This would look so gorgeous. So my reviews for the cream gel colors and the cream gel liners is that they are really nice. They wear for a pretty long time, especially on my eyes, which get rid of liner like crazy. Even though I have severely dry eyes, no liner likes to stay on my waterline. I don't know why. It just doesn't. But the cream gel colors are absolutely stunning. They stay for a long time when you use them as eyeliners. And the cream gel liners themselves wear really nicely. They come in a nice range of colors that you can't really find anywhere else, so I would definitely pick these up. Now let's move on to lips before we move on to face, and this is all of my Colourpop lip products. Let me take these out of here. Because I have them sitting in front of me, let's start with the Colourpop Lippy Sticks. Now, their Lippy Sticks are their lipstick formula. They have lippy pencils, which I do not own because I don't particularly like using lip pencils, but I hear they're fantastic. Now, they come in a variety of different formulas. They come in a matte, satin, cream, sheer, and glossy. Those are the formulas they come in. I think they have some metallic ones too, but I don't have the metallic ones. So I have this many colors. A little while ago, I did a Colourpop lip swatch video, and in there I had bought all matte shades. So I have some new shades now, which are different formulas and stuff like that, and kind of let you know kind of how they work, that sort of thing. I know some of you guys might wonder how you can store the Colourpop Lippy Sticks. I like storing them in just a nice glass container. This was a Yankee Candle at one time, and I just popped these in there. They look super adorable, and it's also nice because you can stick them up and kind of pull them out. The first shade I have is Oh Snap, and this is a metallic color. I'm actually wearing it under the lip color I'm wearing right now. This is like a nice cool tone, sort of like pink color. It's like a pink grayish color, so it's still a nude, but it's more on a cool tone side. So if you're a fan of like cool tone nudes, you will love this. This is the shade Brink, and I mentioned this in my Colourpop swatch video. This is also a matte shade. I'm going to do all my mattes first. This is a beautiful brick red color. It's perfect for fall because it's not like red, but it's a nice like rusty in between color. Absolutely stunning. I feel like really on anybody can kind of wear this shade and pull it off. It's so stunning. This is the shade Cookie, and I'm just going to show you guys something. Do you see how long it took me to scroll that up? That's because this is my favorite shade of all time. This is my favorite nude out of all of my nudes. If I can only choose one nude for the rest of my life, it would be this one. First of all, these smell really good. They smell like cake. But they are just absolutely stunning. Cookie is the perfect like brown, pinky nude. It's more brown than it is pink, but it's just a beautiful nude. It's my perfect nude. This is the shade Lumiere, and this is the color that Kathleen Lights collaborated with on Colourpop, and it is a really pretty pinky, purpley sort of color. I would definitely recommend this for darker skin tones. I think it would look absolutely gorgeous. If you are more fair, like my skin tone, or lighter, this will look more and more dark on you and more like standing out. But if you are darker in skin tone, this will look more neutral on you, if you know what I mean. This is the shade Tootsie, and this is the famous grayish color. If you don't know what that means, it's gray beige. Lime Crime Cashmere and Colourpop Tootsie are said to be dupes. I don't own anything from Lime Crime, but all I know is that this is a beautiful grayish color. This is the shade Contempo, and this is very similar to Oh Snap and Lumiere. I would say if you combined Oh Snap and Lumiere, you would get Contempo. It's like a cool tone version of Lumiere. So it's like Oh Snap, but a little bit darker, and like Lumiere, but a little bit lighter. It's a nice in-between shade. So if you're looking for something that's more like a pinky purple, but it's on the cool tone side, this is a nice shade. This is the shade Westy, and mine actually got kind of cut off. Okay. But this is a really pretty kind of baby doll pink. If you are super into those baby doll pinks, or if you are like blonde hair, blue eyes, this would look so gorgeous on you. It is very pink though, so keep that in mind. It is not like a nude pink by any chance. It is very baby doll pink. This is the shade Silk, and this is a gorgeous purpley red vampy color. Gorgeous for fall, gorgeous for winter. I believe this came out with their like wintry kind of collection, so I don't know if it's still available. Definitely gorgeous for that like dark vampy kind of color, but you could also wear this with like some winged liner and just this lip and it will look gorgeous. This is the shade Dahlia, and this is very, very, very similar to Silk. In fact, the labels almost look so similar, but Dahlia is a little bit more red brown and Silk is a little bit more purpley. But again, this is a beautiful vampy shade. I used this in my how to wear dark lips tutorial a long time ago. Look gorgeous on you that are light or dark. If you're very, very light, this can look very, very almost gothic on you, but if you're into that, then go ahead. You do you. That's what I say. I'm still in the matte shades, by the way. You didn't miss anything. We're still in mattes. I have a lot of mattes. This is the shade Bichette, and it is a gorgeous red. It's a little bit deeper red, so it's not like that in-your-face, like, pinup red. It's a nice deep red, has some, like, more dark tones in it, so this will really make your teeth look stunning because it has more of a blue tone to it. But overall, it's just a really nice deep red. This is Ellery. If you know Ellery on Instagram, kind of looks like Ellery, I don't know. This is definitely more on the purpley side. So if you're looking for a nice dark red that has a lot of purple in it, this is a good choice. And then the last matte shade that I have, wow, I have a lot of matte shades. I did not realize that. The last matte shade that I have is Bull Chic, and this is a black. That's all there is to say. It is a black, it is creamy, it is gorgeous, it doesn't transfer that much. Absolutely amazing, especially if you're doing some sort of editorial look. You will love this. And then the last three colors I have are not mattes, a surprise, surprise. This is the shade Kiddo, and this is one of their sheer formulations. Basically what this is, it's like a tinted lip balm sort of deal. It's a nice sheer wash of color. It's basically a shade Brink, but in like a sheer form, and has a little bit more like pinky nude to it. This is the shade Bound, and this is the glossy shade. This is like the perfect like baby doll pink with a hint of purple in it. If you are super into those baby doll pinks, then you will love this. It has a little bit more nude in it than Westie, but it is still on the pink side, so keep that in mind. It's not on the nude family at all, it is still in the pink. The last shade I have is Button. It is a peachy sort of nude color. It is very, very peach, so if you're into those peach nudes, then you will absolutely love this. It is also in the satin formulation, so it is not matte, it's not going to dry out your lips, which these ones don't anyways, but if you have very, very sensitive lips, then I would go for the satin because it does give you that nice kind of satiny look on your lips. So overall, my review on the Colourpop Lippie Sticks is a plus. I love them so much. They are some of the best affordable lipsticks that you can find. I love the packaging. They're so sleek and so cute. Like, you can obviously see this and be like, yep, that's Colourpop. I love that they have all the shade colors and shade names on the bottom. So if you have them like in a container like this, you can still see what everything is. You don't have to open it up and all that sorts of stuff. And yeah, I love them a lot. A plus. Now let's move on to these babies, and these are the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lips. Now, I will get to my review after I show you the colors that I have, but we will have a little discussion about these. So first, let's go with the crazy shade. This is the shade Dr. M. This is like a blue-green sort of color. Really, really cool, really editorial. I actually got this by mistake. I placed an order, and it was around Christmas time, and my order kind of somehow got mixed up, and this got thrown in my order. I'm kind of glad I did, though, because it is so stunning, and this as liquid liner looks fantastic. This is the shade Shimmy, and this is a very pretty nude sort of pink color. It is very nude, however, think more like Westie or like I mentioned in there, it's a more like baby doll pink, but super pretty. If you are into this, you will like this. This is the shade Teeny Tiny, and it's actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. As you can see, they look very different. This is more like dark when it dries than in the tube, so keep that in mind. But it is a nice cool tone, sort of purpley gray color. You can see it on my lips, you understand. And then this is the shade Silhouette, and this is a really pretty yellowy red color, I would kind of say. It's like a nice tomatoey color. This is more on the warmer side of red, so if you like more of the orange reds, it's pretty neutral, but it has a little bit more orange in it. And this is the shade Avenue. This also has a little bit of yellow in it, but it is more on the blue side. It's a really interesting color. I don't really think I've seen a red like this. It has more like deeper tones in it, more like brick tones than actual like red, but it's a really nice neutral sort of red, if you know what I mean. So that's it for the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lips that I own, and my review on these is not positive. I do not like these at all. I'm actually wearing this right now, and I kind of wish I could take it off because it gets like kind of gummy and chunky on your lips, it'll flake right off. I actually wore this to the mall one time with another lipstick under it, and it was literally like flaking and peeling off while I was in the mall, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god. I didn't have any makeup wipes with me or any way to change my lip color, so I just had to keep like reapplying it and hoping it didn't look like crap, even though it did. These crack, they're very, very drying. The only shades that I can kind of stand to wear are the red shades. They don't crack as much, they don't break up, but as far as shimmy goes, it's very, very patchy and teeny tiny. I just don't like the formula of it. Dr. M I haven't worn out or worn long enough to kind of know how it wears, but the reds wear okay. So if you want to kind of get one of their ultra matte lips, or you want to try one, I would suggest trying out the reds first. They seem to be the best formulation. Last but not least, let's move on to face. These are my highlighters, blushes, and bronzers that I have from Colourpop. So let's start with blush and bronzer. I will start with my bronzers. Now, these come in different form. I think they have like a satin, I think, for the bronzers, but I have all mattes. And the one is kind of like a crossover between a bronzer and a blush, you'll see. The first one I have is Bon Voyage, and I believe this is the lightest color that they have. On me, it kind of shows up. It's really nice if I'm wearing no makeup, because my skin is a little bit lighter when I'm not wearing any makeup, and I kind of like to put this on. The formulation of these is so creamy. It is like butter. It's weird, because it kind of feels like a cream, but when you put it on, it dries like a powder. Really bizarre. It's almost like a gel. This is the shade Aphrodisiac, and this is actually one of the shades that I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. It's a really, really nice mid-tone brown bronzer. It's more on the cool shade, I would say. It's not too warm, so if you're looking for like a nice cool tone bronzer, this is a great option. Great option. For like my skin tone, maybe even if you're a little bit lighter, you could definitely pull this off. It's a really, really nice color. Then the last shade is the shade Swift, and this is the crossover. So this you kind of consider as like a bronzer or a blush. If you are darker skin tone than I am, this would look absolutely stunning as like a blush on you. If you're my shade, you can kind of pull it off as like a bronzer blush sort of thing. Very similar to the Balm Desert, that sort of deal, like the more reddish bronzer. This is very, very red in tone, kind of like a Adobe kind of clay color. But again, super duper pretty. I'm wearing it today over Aphrodisiac, and it just kind of adds a nice little bit of warmth to your cheeks, a little bit of something something, you know what I mean? Now let's move on to blushes, and I have 3, and they are all satin finishes. I believe they have a matte finish for the blush. I'm not too sure, but I have all satin finishes. This is the shade Birthday Suit, and it's just a really pretty nude pink. I would say it's kind of an in-between shade. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. Really, really pretty pink. Kind of like an everyday pink. This is the shade Prenup, and very, very similar to Birthday Suit, except let me see what the difference is between them. How can I describe this? I have Birthday Suit over here and Prenup over here. So if you see, Prenup's a little bit lighter, a little bit more cool toned, you can kind of see, than Birthday Suit. Really good for you guys that have more fair skin. For those of you that just want a nice cool tone blush, absolutely gorgeous. And the last shade I have is the shade Trickery, and this is a bright, fun, corally red. I actually think this looks... The last shade I have is the shade Trickery, and this is a bright, fun, corally red. I actually think this looks way more intimidating on the pan than when you actually use it. If you just swirl your brush around, kind of like, you know, make sure you don't have too much on there, and then put it on your cheeks, it adds a really nice, fun pop of color. Awesome for summer. Awesome if you just want that nice little pop of blush. It's gorgeous. So my review for the blush and bronzers, all in all, I have to say they are really nice. At first, I didn't love the bronzers and the blush as much. I felt like I wasn't getting that much product on my brush, but I found that swirling them with a synthetic brush really makes the job so easy. It works really well. I personally think that they have some of the best bronzer shades that are the most affordable. They're not orange like a lot of drugstore or affordable bronzers can be. They're nice and neutrally more on the cool tone, and they kind of have a color for everyone, which I really like. So I do like that about their bronzers, and with their blush, you can find so many different colors. And again, I feel like the drugstore / affordable makeup is really hurting for blushes. I feel like we don't have too many of those. So awesome, affordable blushes. You just kind of know how to use them. Then last but not least, highlighters. The one, everybody's favorite. I mean, honestly, who doesn't like a good highlighter? Raise your hand. So I'm going to kind of go down the line. All of these are pearlized finishes. I believe that all their highlights are the pearlized finish, so that means that they have a little bit of glitter in it, maybe some micro glitter, but mostly just pure shimmer. This is the shade Most Necessary. I'm actually wearing this as my blush today. It's like a peachy, darker color. This is amazing for dark skin tones as a highlight. If you're very dark, this is a great highlight. If you are like my color, this is a perfect blush. This is the shade Electric Slide, and this is a pure gold highlighter. It is like a bar of gold. I'm not even joking. It's amazing. It's so pretty. It looks really, really great if you put it on and then you put like a little bit of a lighter, more neutrally kind of highlight over it, because then the gold kind of shines through, but it doesn't look like gold eyeshadow on your cheeks, if you know what I mean. This is the shade Spoon, and this is the one that has straight up glitter in it. I've actually used this as an eyeshadow. It looks amazing, but this is pretty sheer and it does have glitter in it. So if you are someone that likes more of a glittery highlighter, or you kind of want something a little bit more fun and different, definitely get this. Again, it makes a great eyeshadow, so you're kind of getting a 2-in-1. All of these make amazing eyeshadows, all that sorts of stuff. You know, you can overlap blushes and bronzers and highlighters with eyeshadows. You know the drill. This is the shade Lunch Money, and by far my favorite Colourpop highlighter. As you can see, I've kind of used it up a lot. But this is a pure vanilla gold highlight. It is more on the vanilla-y white side. It's a shade lighter than the Mary Luminizer. If you guys have the Mary Luminizer, you kind of, it's like pure vanilla. This is like a white vanilla, if you know what I mean, like a French vanilla. Ooh. Absolutely stunning. This has no glitter in it whatsoever. It just provides the most beautiful sheen. I'm actually wearing it on top of another highlighter from Colourpop today. So gorgeous. If I want a nice bright spotlight highlight, but something that's not too white, I reach for this all the time. This is the shade Butterfly Beach, and again, this is on the pinky side. It is like 2 shades lighter than Most Necessary. So if you took Most Necessary and like made it like 2 shades lighter, this is what you would get. It looks more like bronzy in the pan, but when you put it on, you can definitely see there's some like peachy pink in it. Again, for you darker skin tones, absolutely stunning. If you're my shade, it's kind of a difficult highlight to wear. It's a little too light to be a blush, but sometimes it can be a little too dark to be a highlighter. So it's kind of up to you what you kind of like for your preference. For me, I like to put this on when I am more tan and then put like a lighter highlighter over it, that sort of thing, or put it lightly over my blush. You know, you can do a lot of things with it. It's a really versatile color. This is the shade Smoke and Whistles. This is actually the shade I'm wearing as my base highlight, and then I'm wearing Lunch Money over it. This is so gorgeous. It's a beautiful, like, peachy silver. So if you are looking for something that is light, but is still more on the peach side, that's not, like, silvery cool tone, this will be your girl. The last shade on here, I could die for this color. It's my absolute favorite out of the entire collection. This is the shade Wisp. Oh my god, this will give you that Instagram, summery, bronzy kind of glow. Very, very similar to Champagne Pop. In fact, maybe it's a dupe. I don't know. You wouldn't know, because I don't have a dupe video. So maybe I should make one. Oh. But yeah, this is a gorgeous gold, peachy color. It's like that gold with a like peach undertone. Beautiful for you darker skin tones and medium skin tones, and my skin tone if you are fair. Again, this might be a little too dark on you, but if you are my skin tone or darker, you can rock this. All in all, my review on the Colourpop highlighters is A to the plus. Amazing. Best highlighters that are affordable, I think. If you need, again, an affordable highlighter, go to Colourpop. They have so many different shades, so many different undertones, so many different colors. You can definitely find something that'll fit your skin tone. Definitely find something gorgeous. These are only $8. Excuse me? You get a ton of product in here. So many different colors. Absolutely amazing. The blushes and bronzers are $8. The eyeshadows are $5. The Ultra Matte lips are $6, and the lippy sticks are also $5. So again, everything is really affordable. I don't think Colourpop sells anything over $10, so like no single product is over $10, which is fantastic for those of you that need something, you're not kind of on a budget like me, or you just kind of want to look for something that's going to be really good, but you don't have to spend your money, even if you can, but you just want something that's going to be nice and affordable. Definitely look into Colourpop, one of the best brands. They have great shipping. They are cruelty-free and vegan, I believe. I know they are cruelty-free, but I believe they are vegan as well. You can only buy them online. You cannot buy them in any stores yet. Maybe they will someday. That is the downside for those of you that you don't like spending money on shipping or whatever, but their shipping is very affordable, and if you spend a certain amount, you can get free shipping. I believe they ship worldwide as well, which is also a great plus for those of you that are looking for something that's not just a US brand. But yeah, I think that is my Colourpop collection. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Wow, that was a mouthful. That was a long video. I'm sorry, it'll probably be 1,000 hours long, but it's worth it, right? You get to see some makeup, we get to have fun, we get to play. Of course. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs up if you want to see a dupes video, and I will see you later. Bye!